1, 2.
The overseas expansion of the Mycenaeans has brought them into contact with other cultures that simultaneously pose opportunities and dangers. In a defiant but inspired act, Paris, Prince of Troy, has kidnapped the beautiful Helen of Sparta and taken her back to his home. The fury of your brother Menelaus, Helen's husband and king of Sparta, knows no bounds, and he has appealed to you, Agamemnon, king of Mycenae, for help. Jumping at the opportunity for war and renown, you have assembled a vast army bent on the destruction of Troy. The city-state lies far across the Aegean Sea, however, and the campaign will require a strong navy to launch a sea-borne invasion of the Trojan heartland. Go forth dauntlessly. Eternal fame and glory await.
Prince of Troy, also called Ilium. Despite its rich narrative and spectacular level of detail, the Homeric Iliad and its tale of the Trojan War was widely considered to be fictitious until the archaeological discoveries of Heinrich Schackelmann in the 19th century. Schackelmann made a fantastic set of discoveries at the dig site near Hisarlik in the northwest region of modern-day Turkey. The archaeological site was situated upon the lucrative trade route leading from the Aegean through to the Bosphorus to the Black Sea, providing a plausible incentive for the historical conflict. The people laughed and scoffed at his idea, as far as I remember. Like they were saying, it was believed to be fictional, but the guy was suspicious if it was true, and so he wanted to do a dig. And apparently that wasn't a thing done at the time. And well, his critics got egg on their face as he found Troy. I remember reading a little, it was a tidbit, it was a footnote about it, and it just stuck with me. They scoffed, he ended up being right, and they were a bit sheepish. I would like to believe. As time went on, numerous levels of the city were unearthed. One location known now as Troy VLL, Troy 7A, corresponds remarkably well to the dates on the Trojan War. Corresponds remarkably well to dates of the Trojan War given by several classical historians and chroniclers. Additionally, analysis of its destructional area yields remnants of weapons of war and evidence the city was obliterated by fire, aligning with ancient and classical accounts of the conclusion of the conflict. Cross-examinations of Hittite texts with the archaeological evidence linked to Troy, Ilium, with a great city called Wilusa by the Hittites, which was destroyed by invaders from the west known to them as Yawa, or Homer's Asians. According to the Homeric narrative and several classical myths and tales that grew from it, conflict was caused by the abduction of Helen of Sparta by Paris, a prince of Troy, with the help of the goddess Aphrodite. After much difficulty, Mycenaeans, referred to in the epic as the Essayans, Danans, and Argives, crossed the Aegean into Asia Minor and laid siege to the city for 10 long years. As the fighting wore on, claiming heroic warriors from both sides, the morale of the scenes dwindled. Finally, the cunning Odysseus devised a perilous plan to break the stalemate. Constructing a giant wooden horse containing a band of brave warriors, the Mycenaeans then sailed away, hiding their fleet behind the nearby island of Tendos. The Trojans, desiring not to offend the gods, brought the horse inside the city. Among the hidden warriors opened the gates in the dark of night. The Mycenaean army stormed in and laid waste the city, killing most of its population and carrying off its fabled wealth. The Homeric epics, likely the most famous works in the history of Western literature, ensure the memory of the conflict will live on, etched eternally into the pages of history. There's also the Aeneid, which is fictional, but it's about survivors of the Trojan War on the Trojan side. Basically, the first emperor of Rome, son of Caesar. Caesar never became emperor. It's a misconception. Critics of his believed that he desired to become king. The Romans had kings, and due to the decadence and depravities of them, they turned on them. Tarquin, his son, I believe, also called Tarquin. This Tarquin Jr., or Tarquin the Younger, raped a noble woman. And the rape is decanted in a bit of classical artwork, depicted in it. But that was the straw that broke the camel's back, and apparently, and they overthrew the monarchy and instituted the republic, and as such, critics of Caesar believed that he was trying to reinstitute the monarchy, as he was after basically claiming Rome as his after the Civil War. He also wore red shoes, apparently, according to the Horrible Histories CDs. They saw red shoes as a symbol of monarchs. Keep in mind that in later years they saw purple robes as a symbol of emperorship. So it's not too insane. But yeah, he apparently wore red shoes, which they claimed was a symbol of monarchy, and therefore a symbol of his desire to become a new Roman monarch, fueling their desire to kill him. But yeah, his son anyway believed that, I called him Caesar Jr. too much, I can't actually remember his name. Plutarch referred to him as the young Caesar. But it could have been Octavian? Augustus? I'm not sure. But I think it was Octavian. But yeah, he believed that the Roman people lacked a history, something to draw strength upon. So he commissioned the poet Virgil to write the Aeneid. And it's about survivors. It's one of my teachers described it as the Roman ripoff as the Iliad. For those who don't know the Odyssey, after the Trojan War, Odysseus is separated from the rest of his the returning forces, and he ends up bouncing around the islands here and eventually making it home to Ithaca, I think. I'm not sure, but yeah, I think it's to Ithaca. He eventually makes it home. He gets into a wide range of adventures. He stabs the son of Poseidon. Well, would it be Neptune? Poseidon, Neptune's Roman. Stabs the son of Poseidon, which, given that he was sailing, and then bragged, pissed off Poseidon. So they couldn't steer. They just kept getting shunted from random place to random place. They ended up on an island with a witch. Some of his idiots men decided, let's sleep on the roof, and they fall off and die. It was a clusterfuck. But eventually he does make it home. The Aeneid, instead of that, basically a martial leader of it survived. I'm not sure what rank he was, but he rallied civilians and soldiers, and they fled Troy. And they ended up down in Africa, actually. It could have been in Carthage. I don't remember. Probably wasn't Carthage. But they ended up down in, maybe it was Egypt itself. But basically when he rallied them, he was commanded by the gods. A god appeared before him and told him it was his destiny to build a great city, and it would one day take revenge upon the people who did this, because the Romans did go on to enslave the Greeks. This was divinely justifying it, as if they needed any justification. But yeah, during their trip, they did travel south, and they ended up on the African continent, and they did settle down there for quite a time. Their leader fell in love with with a queen down there, and they enjoyed their time. But the gods were they turned up and were tapping their watch at him, telling, "Get a move on, form the city-state." So we have to leave. In her grief, the queen kills herself, and they move on. They ended up going to southern Italy and working their way up before finally settling. In the early days, they end up getting sieged, and I'm going to be honest with you, even though it was on the test, or was it the Aeneid or was it the Odyssey? I never actually finished reading it. I had to bullshit my way through the test. And just from what I can remember in school, during class. I think I still got a C though, on higher level. Imagine if I could have actually finished fucking reading it. And yeah, it was actually one of the core texts for the class. But I remember they were saying they were under siege, the forces were divided. I think maybe their army was out elsewhere, and they were sieged. So they're bundled up. They send these two guys, these two blood brothers, out, as in just they're close, out to, tell the boss man help, or get information out. But they sneak up to the enemy camp. There was no watchman, or there was little, and the tents were quite exposed. So they sneak in and start killing them. But I guess they got separated. Cover more ground, get more dead. It didn't work out well for them. One gets killed, and the other is driven into a rage and tries to take on the entire army by himself and dies. I remember them arguing that clearly they were in love. Romantically, the two guys. That could be the case, but I've just seen far too many people arguing, these two guys aren't stabbing each other to death, clearly they want to fuck. Alternatively, these guys are trying to stab each other to death, clearly they want to deal with penises instead. And it's just like, can platonic love not exist to you people? Can platonic love not exist? Like, yeah, I'm a romantic, but that includes platonic love, damn it. Platonic love is a beautiful thing in and of itself. People going to hell and back for a blood brother, The Victorians believed that the strongest bond of friendship that two people could have was formed by two men on the battlefield. That's why Macbeth's betrayal of Banquo and his assassination and would-be assassination of Banquo's son was so terrible, because he wasn't just betraying his vows as king and all this and whatnot. He was betraying his battle brother. So, like, if they were gay, they were gay. It's just, there was apparently the only thing saying they were was the guy actually cared the other dude died. That feels a little, weak. Unless, of course, you believe men can't actually care for anyone outside of sexual or romantic situations. In which case you can go fucking yourself. The gene pool is stagnant. Let's administer a little bit of chlorine. Ow, I got surly. I did not mean to get quite that grouchy. It's fucking irritating. I was saying about this in War Tales, my early access thing on it. I've seen too many people. Well, I'd seen someone at the time when I was recording it. I flicked at my phone for a moment, and I saw someone's. They were referencing something they'd seen, and they were accusing it of queer baiting. Basically meaning, or maybe they said gay baiting. I think it's queer baiting they used. I'll follow you into hell, sir. So, dutiful soldier going to hell and back for his commander. Clearly it's romantic. And the creators were baiting people for the romantic relationship and never delivered. Because it can only be that. And their shipping goggles weren't, misleading them. So, yeah. I see that constantly, so it just always makes me twitchy of people just having shipping goggles grafted on, or some weird complex or neurosis of, oh, two men cannot care for each other at all outside of romantic situations. If that's the case, I don't give a shit. It's just, to narrow down to only being that is to undermine and belittle platonic friendship. That people can give a shit about someone outside of a romantic relationship. It's just frustrating. I don't want people belittling platonic friendships, but I feel it's also ties in with larger societal issues, you know? If you start trying to convince people that you can't give a shit, keep trying to convince guys that they can't give a shit about a person without wanting to, you know, be in a romantic relationship with them, it's kind of hurting their ability to, you know, connect with other people and have healthy relationships. If you try and convince them that the only relationships they can have with a person are romantic. Which is exactly what those people are trying to do, whether they realize it or not. It's fucking frustrating. And again, I'll emphasize it one last time, and if you somehow don't hear it these 3 fucking times, no, why do you even bother having ears? If they were gay, or whatever scenario, be it the innate story or anything else, I don't care. Like, if they are indeed that way, who cares? It doesn't matter. The thing is, there is nothing else to go off of but the guy falling into a berserk state for the death of his comrade. These are 2 guys that were military. They fought alongside each other. They survived Troy. They survived countless fights up to then, and then he dies. They were probably pretty damn close, especially if you take it came ages later, the Victorian view of it, because I believe they have a fair point. It's not necessarily romantic. There is no other, illusions or anything. It was just simply, oh, he cared that his friend died. Clearly it's romantic. It's fallacious. Again, unless you believe men cannot care for a person outside of romantic relationships. And well, you already know my opinion on that. People shouldn't be underestimating platonic love and care for people. It's unhealthy to be undermining it and belittling it and shit. People wonder why there's issues. I'm going to stop this here to make it easy for me to edit it out. Similarly, for me to edit it so I can send it on to Mom and get her opinion. She'll probably be fine with it, but... I may want to redact my opinion. You know, the one I alluded to but didn't say there. You already know my opinion on it. I may want to actually redact that. If I have... It was a bit saucy. I had a fucking massive rant there. I'll probably be leaving it in, like I said, but I may have to redact a bit. And now I'm just feeling like, oof, I really got heated there. Fuck. Okay. Huh.
On this.
Normal. Muster up. I don't like this. Oh, they're identified as Hittite. The defenders are pretty low tech. Actually, no. Just getting the lay of the land. We started. They toss down a granary. E3 on this. You here. I try and not go on rants, but it's just... my blood boiled. I've actually felt the heat in my veins before when that happens. It didn't that time, but I wasn't that pissed. My, didn't get quite that eager. More berry bushes there. Okay. Oh, whoops. Okay. It just... I know, it looked... shallow. Erect this. Okay. Do it. Yes, actually, that is a good idea. Up here. Destroy hero Hector, destroy hero Paris. The names always surprised me, you know? Like, there's a King Philip of Macedonia. It's where we get the word Philippix. Someone wrote a treaty against him. It meant against Philip, nowadays it means heated tirade. Oh. Odysseus! King of the Isle of... I was right! Ithaca, the most brilliant of the Greeks. Actually, him being an incredible archer there is fitting for him. There was a... When he finally did make it home, he'd been gone for over 10 years. His son had become a man. He left when the son was young. The son was now over 30. That's 30 was the mark of a man in Greek society. Girls were considered women at around 13, but guys had to wait till 30 to be considered a man by their culture. But yeah, there were suitors there, and due to hospitality laws, the wife couldn't evict them. So she started giving them bullshit challenges to actually win her hand. Kind of thing that only her husband would be able to win. He participated in disguise, just to suss the place out. And obviously he aced them. One of the challenges was that basically they had a target to shoot, but they had to shoot through these notches on an axe. Or there's a hole through an axe head or something. I can't remember the details. But basically they had to get a bullseye or equivalent. Basically through a funnel, effectively. None of them can do it, but until Odysseus steps up. He does it, then, to show off, he does it again, splitting his first arrow from stem to stern with the next. Dude is pretty high spec. If trees are marked... Sometimes they'll demolish trees, but other times they won't. It's fussy. I was hoping to put 2 here. Regardless, get back to work. You get there. Similarly, while Greece had a democracy, it was a limited democracy. It was rather stifled. It may be easy to think of like a modern democracy, but as corrupt as so many of them are, well, I suppose that's a fitting point to make, but anyway. The Greek democracies were very restrictive in who could actually vote. There were direct democracies, so like those who vote directly got to state their opinion, which is something. provided to the people in question were, actually good at it. But, yeah, you had to be a guy over 30, maybe a landowner, upper class. There was like a list of restrictions. I can't quite remember. I'm trying to remember a couple of comic panels from Horrible Histories I read a decade and some change back. So yeah, it's hazy as hell. Oh, it's researching them. Good. And prove it. Hero Ajax, brother in arms of Achilles and the strongest and tallest of all Greek warriors. The only one powerful enough to beat him is himself. Hero Achilles. Greek hero of the Trojan War and the greatest warrior ever lived. Immortal, but for some reason is very protective of his heels. You, over here. Build another dock. Four armor, 4 attack, 5 attack, no armor. So they will end up the worst of it. Odysseus, help out. He's got 10 range, 12 attack, 1 armor. Didn't think we were going to get any like hero units. Plus, I was figuring that these 3 were also all mythological, and not going to be part of this. I think I may pull these off. And get to work. Back. Okay. We can certainly move with what we have. Wait. Ass. Okay. Sentry tower. Sentry tower. Oh, it's their granary. There. Okay. Get over there, do that. Well done. The Trojan defenders, who are lower tech, have war galleys, while the higher tech Troy is still using scout boats. Okay. Yeah, that's grand. Annoying. Excuse me. Weird. They have a mix of watchtowers and sentry towers. I wonder if the reason for this is that this way the Trojan defenders are only a temporary ally for the others. Once you take out their boats, they can't rebuild them. Fine, Alpha. There's an achievement for killing one of those, but in what way? Just kill it. Get title Heracles. They should retire now. Then again, maybe they have some land forces somewhere. Hey, I defeated one. Yes. Now all these boats have 12 lives. Okay. Get back there. This is annoying. Fine. Do that. You and you build like transports. Put them here. You build the academy. gold there. Okay. Okay. Go to the government center. You build a temple. You may be wondering why I'm doing it like this. It's because I feel the boats have now largely outlived their purpose. I probably still want some around, but I need to make more room for my army. Currently have only 10. Okay, beautiful. Move there. Engage it. Okay. My mind wandered there, apologies. This is just done now. Broadswordsman. Or hit points and whatnot than a short sword. Excuse me. Ye over here. Okay, ye over here. Oh. Gold here.
Thomas. Ibertari.
Storage pit. Go do it. Go do it.
Ibertari.
Erectus.
Okay, I'm gonna grab workers and bring them with me, so I can get buildings going down here and be able to call in reinforcements.
One. Erectus. One. Erectus.
Isa, Ibertari, Darwini.
Down here.
Thomas.
Okay. Fine. Start on this. Priest, stay back. Okay. Yeet. that down. Go to the academy. Go back over here. Ajax, come on. Almost sounds like I own you. Just not an end to it. Or, no, it's more I owe you.
Alamas. Summers.
Okay.
Alamas.
Actually, I think that'll be fine. Go to the sentry tower. Attack. Okay, pull back. Attack. Move. Wow, you're insanely durable. No wonder he's called immortal. Okay, I'm gonna stop here for today. I'll come back and play more tomorrow. Till then.